And you know what? I just realized I don't need these headphones because it's just me all by my little lonesome. Oh dear. It's so hard to be a technology person when you're over 12. Anyway, I thought I would do a little intro music there because, it seemed like the thing to do at the time. And now I'm kind of regretting it. But anyway, here I am. Well, just quick, and now I can hear things on my headphones still. People are dinging me on PM. So let me just make sure that we are good to go here. Can everybody A, hear me, and B, obviously you can see what's going on. I see, of course, Mo is here. I know that Jeff Hexy has been, Hex has been hanging out for a little while. And Nordic is here, always a reliable visitor. Paul, thanks for hanging out. I got two Pauls, Paul Sin, Paul Dangle. Don't let the angle of the dangle affect your thing there. And I understand that the Compass event is over. So hopefully there was good news with that. I saw there was a new game, something to do with trains and things and cowboys or thieves or something. So that looked very exciting. I'm glad to see that they're doing some new and different things other than just war games because, it's a dying hobby. Right. Damn Tim is here. Who else? I guess we should say, there we go. So Mo's here. All the gang is here. Who is pinging me, please? What is going on? Of course. And then also I hear that, thank you, person of interest who shared that John is leaving. So that's a change. And I think perhaps maybe now John will pivot back to Consim World. We'll see what happens with that. That could be really good for Consim World, good for the Consim website, good for the Consim social side of things. Sounds like Compass got its act together. Maybe it knows what it's doing and doesn't need John. Maybe John doesn't need them. I don't know. All right, I'm going to mute my phone. Stop. All right, I'm muting my phone. I got someone talk to me about the election. It's over, by the way. Champ, it's gone. All right, let me see who else is here. Mo, we said Nordic, we said all the polls. Smashing. Okay, here's the game plan. I have a list of games that I want to talk about, and some I've talked about before in a positive nature. Some I've talked about before in a somewhat cautionary tale version of I don't like this game / what the fuck were they thinking, right? And we're going to do a little bit of that, but also going to do some giveaways, which I'll spread out through the night. I'm doing some interesting stuff. I'm sharing an intro OCS game that if you care about OCS, you'll need. If you don't have it already, obviously. I'm giving away a classic boxed SPI game that is not hard to get, but it comes with 2 copies of the game. And loads of fun if you're into sort of fire-team scale stuff, and we'll talk a little bit about that game in a sec. A classic double, which we'll get into later. 2 games that I cut my teeth on as a wargamer, learning wargaming, understanding what is and what can be with wargaming and opposed wargaming. And one of the games in particular, probably as a, let's call it 16-year-old, probably played 20, 30, 40 times against one guy, same set of tactics, same result every time, funnily enough. And then I also have a out-of-print game that is that going to shrink? They don't do shrink. So I'll be giving away as well. And I don't know how I'm going to do that. I will rely on you guys to perhaps guide me through the best way to do that. I'm sure I can find a random generated number or some bullshit like that. So we'll work that out. Matthew, hello. CRT Matt, hello. What's with, so the double polls, double mats. Just the one mode, though. All right. What is this? Cautionary tales with your host, Kev Sharp. Yeah, you guys are hilarious. All right. All right, and so before we get into that, just real quickly, because I'd love to get some feedback. I know there's only a handful of us here, 20, 30, whatever, 20, 21. But I wanted to ask folks about YouTube in general, in terms of if I was to post my content elsewhere, would you still like to visit there, or is YouTube the preferred medium? That's a question, number one. And then number two, the same would go for how is everyone feeling about the Facebook group, Big Board Gaming? Like to get some feedback on that. I'm seeing a lot of people post their gameplays and stuff like that. It makes me happy because I'm seeing more people participate, whereas with this business page I inadvertently set up, I couldn't really get anyone else to join in or participate. It was really just me, posting crap, right? Or stuff, things, items. Anyway, so I'd love some feedback on the Facebook group. Love some feedback on if I were to present. I think I shared it in the Big Board Gaming group on Facebook, and on my personal page, this Substack where I can post video there as well. And it's similar but different, right? I can actually auto post across to YouTube as well. So it kind of does both, but it gives me more flexibility and actually gives me more control of my content, because I'm starting to see YouTube go back through all of, I guess everybody's content, going back through everything, and they're looking at it and go, oh, that has the N word in it, as in NAZI in it, and we're going to take that offline. There's no recourse or anything like that. So I've had that happen now a couple of times. And it's been inadvertent, right? And one of them was some propaganda song, I think, that was written in the 50s. It was actually a West German song, but I think it used words that connotated, some bad thing to the AI. So anyway, I'm getting a little frustrated with that, a little frustrated with Facebook, to be perfectly honest with you. And so I'm thinking of just one place where I can dump all my content, and then it'll auto populate other places, and that might work. Now, I don't really care if I have 4 followers or 4 million followers. Doesn't make any difference to me because I'm not monetized. But I'd be curious about your shut up, Mo. I'm curious about if that would just if it would turn you off. You're like, oh, I'm not going there. So I think I would still probably have to post stuff to Facebook, generally speaking. It may impact how things get done on Board Game Geek, but I don't really give 2 shits about that place either, so it doesn't matter. All right, let's see. I'm just gonna scroll back up and check the comments before we get into the games. Like, there's some awesome games I want to talk to you about tonight that I think were exceptional plays for me and exceptional experiences, and that's what I look for. And I had a couple of dogs as well, less dogs than you think, but and a couple of and one different dog that you won't be anticipating. I'm just scrolling back up here, checking the commentary to see if I'm missing anything exciting. Tim Zales, welcome. Paul, yes, there can only be one. You were the first there, Paul. Hexy's ready for me to get the trash out. I love it. Bear with me. I'm just going through the commentary here. We're up to 28, 30 viewers, whatever. Oh, okie dokie. Thank you, Nordic. All right, so that's we'll take that as a yes vote. Yeah, and this is not going to be Rumble, although Rumble is an option. I do have a page on Rumble. Has 2 videos on it, but it's a page there nevertheless, just in case. This actually would be Substack. where I have that now. I set up that page to do narrative things, and it's actually it's a pay to view, but you don't have to pay to view unless I make it pay to view. A few people have actually paid to read. I don't know why you would do that, but I appreciate it. So I make I think nearly $11 a year from my subscriptions. So anyway, so it's narrative rich over there, but there's no AARs and stuff like that. And so I would transition everything over there, and we would need to tune up the site a little bit to make that all work. Or maybe I could start a separate Substack. I don't know. We'll fucking work it out. It doesn't matter. All right, Jeff, good to see you, my friend. Meandering Mike, hey man, good to see you. You're always welcome here. All right, let's do this then. Let's get after it. Since we're 11 minutes in, haven't really said anything about a game yet. I'm going to start off with something different because, you know, that goes over there. Let's give away. One of the games that I played this year was not a board game, was not a hex and counter game. Had 2 sessions of it. It's not on my session plays list just because I haven't logged it on Board Game Geek. But I played this, if you're into RPGs, I played War Stories from Firelock Games. And I believe they sent this to me. I think they did. And it is, it's really, really cool. Super narrative rich. I've seen a couple other reviews about it, and folks got spun up around the axle about the complications around using a tank. Well, you know, newsflash, don't use a tank. It's not, these RPGs are meant to be experienced, not ground through, which is one of the problems I have with the Twilight 2000 reboot and even the old one. You know, people get caught up in this minutia of, well, you have 4.5 minutes of food left and a half a gallon of ethanol for your ethanol conversion of your engine. What are you going to do? Oh, and by the way, a wolf attacked you. You know, that's just not how I role play games. It's not what I grew up doing back in the early days of Gygax D&D, where shit got real, right? I mean, that was like a lot of fun playing Dungeons and Dragons as a of course I was a paladin. I had to be lawful good back in those days. So this, I'm running a campaign right now. I've got 4 guys, and we just landed in Sicily, I believe, or is it actually in Italy? Maybe it was Avalanche, I forget. Landed in Italy, and we'll call it Italy. That way I won't be wrong. And of course, it's one of the actual landings. They get blown off course, and their job is to go fight behind enemy lines and do stuff and disrupt reinforcements. This game is so much fun. I can't recommend it enough. It's a couple of little expansions, just like cards and stuff for extra guns and things. It's cool. It's got a little player aid chart in it and stuff. You know, the DM or GM's screen bits and pieces. Super easy to play. A lot of fun. It's the year 0 system, so very cool. Yeah, it is cool, mate. Right, we're not gonna talk about what I've done with Legos. I have 3 boys. I have an entire shed. One wall is full of Star Wars Legos. Most of them are put together, and I'm trying to work out how I can sell it all and get 10% of my money back. Yeah, indeed, you are correct. I did borrow some Legos at one point to make soldiers. Yes. All right. Yeah, we are. Because it's good times, right? All we need is fire rates and ranges and some dice, and we're good to go. I'm seeing what else is up here. Okay. All right. Here we go. So now, so that was the first title that really grabbed me and said, "Hey, you're having a unique experience in 2024." I'm not in order by any means. I'm going to go through these games, so don't go back and look at my plays and say, well, you didn't play that next. All right. So next war Iran. Now, Mitch is a friend of mine, and I'll call Mitch a friend. Yeah, I'll call Mitch a friend. I mean, I've hung out with him, drunk beers, and we've talked a lot. He's a good guy. Next war Iran for me really is bringing all of the sophistication and nuance of relatively like current contemporary modern combat together into a playable format that, with a little bit of abstraction that you'll need to learn to sort of appreciate. I mean, if you can play RAF Britain or wherever it is, and say that it's the best solo simulation of the Battle of Britain, then I think you can get your head around what the abstractions that are required here. So it is a fantastic system that, for me, with the full game production quality, I'd done a play test and played a little bit solo on Vassal, but with the full production, with the new map format and all the rest of it, blew me away. Had the best time, got right down in the weeds on it, loved every minute of it, and thoroughly enjoyed the concept around clearing the Gulf areas and the fight for that. So that was a particularly enjoyable little exercise to go through. So I enjoyed that a lot. And now I guess so. And the thing about that game for me is that it's the interweaving of mechanics that really allows me to deepen the experience, right? Now, certain aspects of it are abstracted, as I mentioned. Some of the air war stuff, you're not sending F-35s out by themselves, all that sort of fun stuff. Things go in packages, but I love the interplay between the special forces units, the ADF and SAM tracks and the detection tracks. I love the cruise missile, Scud missile concept, how that all works. I love the combat resolution table for that, all in one, right? Very nice. I love the different types of raids that you can do with the soft forces, and then of course you've got the full Monty with combat and all the rest of it. So that's always a lot of fun to get your head around and understand how all those different components can work together and how that sequence of play comes into being. I love the movement of initiative that occurs over time, and as your air superiority evolves, as your naval supremacy evolves, it changes the dynamics and changes the gameplay sequence as well, from initiative to non-initiative, as the case may be. All right, so there's that. All right, now the next one I want to chat about, and I thought, do we want to mix these up? Do you guys want to do one of the bad ones now, and then we'll focus on some good stuff, and then we'll do the last two bad ones? Do we want to give a game away? I don't know. I'm super freeform tonight, so I don't really care. I don't care what we do or how we do it. I did good, bad, then ugly. Yeah, there's not too much ugly. Well, the ugly, I think the ugly will. I don't want to end on a negative note, too negative anyway. So we're not going to do that necessarily. We'll see. But I have a commentary, some commentary or opinions about where the war game space is at, and that's one of my uglies. So we're gonna get to that. All right, look, but the best African game I played this year, African theater game, Tobruk, Chris Fawcett, a Compass game. Chris is a bit of a cranky guy, and I think he got kind of sideways with the Compass guys. But someone did a fantastic job with that artwork. Chris did a fantastic job with the game. Once I understood what he was trying to do and where his head was at, and that wasn't from communicating with him, it was more distilling the rules in my mind. It is one of the most thought-provoking games I've played in a long time. Second only to what I would say is probably my number one game for the year. It really drives you to think about maneuver, about combined arms, about the staging and activation of units in the right sequence within a formation. The downsides for the game are that it does rely on some significant stacks, relatively significant stacks, and I have a pet peeve with the rolling. Once you activate a formation, there's a limit to the number of units that may or may not get to activate. That kind of didn't sit right with me necessarily, but that's maybe me wanting to have that God's eye control. So I get it. I get where he's coming from with that. Not everything goes to plan all the time. Even when you get the formation you want, you may not get to move all the units that you want. So I get it. What supersedes all that is the gameplay narrative. The third thing that is somewhat missing with this game is a shorter, smaller scenario, which I think Chris is actually working on. May end up in Paper Wars at some point, hopefully, or he's just going to send it to me and I'll share it with you, and we'll go from there. But it needs a shorter scenario because they are long. It is a long game, and it has a lot of activations at return. So it can be you've got to be ready to sit down and play, and it's not going to be done in a day, right? It's a large compass two mapper, and a lot of counters and some very interesting mechanics. I love the combat mechanics that are basically lifted pretty much exactly lifted in terms of resolution tables from Herman Luttman's series of Civil War games. So finding your odds, getting either a light, medium, or heavy result, then dropping down to the physical combat result, and then the morale result, or the physical combat result and the retreat result, depending on which table it is. I think that's how it works. So that was so I loved all of that, and I loved how that has been applied to the World War II era, and I think that demonstrates that Chris is onto something there, or that others could probably take and adapt and use and build a game series around. This should be a game series. Hopefully, in the sale, you were smart and you got a copy of this. Set it up and just play a couple of turns and just try it out. It's really, really, really good. Like I said, best African theater game I played this year, and second or third best African theater game, full stop for me. I'll give it that credit. All right, let's do a simple, quick, easy way. I mentioned earlier on that I've been playing some RPGs, and another series that I had come across was hey Kai, good to see you. Oh, you're funny. Yes, that's not going to happen. Anyway, let's do. So I mentioned RPGs, and I think I got distracted there. My apologies. There's another system out that's very different but compatible with Dungeons and Dragons. Funnily enough, the D&D system uses the same core mechanics, I guess, and it's called Everyday Heroes. And they have basically licensed movie-themed concepts. So in this particular case, Total Recall. So Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's not a Puma. Really cool, kind of fun, and you can basically play the movie. It's awesome. You play the characters and all the rest of it. So it's a hoot. I'll mail this out for free anywhere in the United States. Whatever, or talk to me if you're in Europe. We'll work it out. So tell me your favorite line from Total Recall in the comments. I'll tally them up and we'll do a random and we'll go for it. So let's do that. If you're interested. If you're not interested, then don't do it, and we'll move on, and I'll throw it back over in the corner, and we'll give away something else later. I got CRT Matt. No. Anybody interested? Going once. Do you know the movie? Maybe some of you don't even know the movie. Meandering Mike is in. Meandering Mike might be the only one that gets it. I'll tell you what, to make it easier, since some of you might not have been born, Jeff Schultz. Hey, Jeff, good to see you, man. Name an actor from the movie, and you can use Google. Oh, don't tell me there's a Total Recall reboot. You're kidding me. All right, so we got a few. Oh dear me, we got a few folks jamming in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna grab random die generator. Hang on 1 second here. You guys are hilarious. It's not a random die. It's a random number. Oh, excuse me. This has just made food and I ate. I shouldn't have eaten. It's making me tired. All right, how many we got? All right, ease up there, fellas. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I didn't know the reboot had Kate Beckinsale. Damn, I'm gonna have to watch that. 9, 10, 11. Gender recall. 12. I'm going to call it 13. All right. We'll just call it 13 and I'll try and work out who it is. Minimum 1, maximum 13. Generate. It's 10. 10. So let's just go from there. One, two. Looks like it's Kenneth Portner. Kenneth? It's not exactly how you spell Schwarzenegger, but it's near enough. What I'd like you to do is send me an email at bigboardgaming@gmail. We'll work out the details. We don't hear from you, I will work it out from there. Send me a note some other way on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or wherever else I am. I'm not on TikTok, but whatever. All right, Kenneth. So you got that. All right, good man. All right, jolly good. Excellent. Okay, so where were we? All right, we were going through all this nonsense about great games and all the rest of it. Let's see, what else we got here? So another game that kind of surprised me, and you may notice there that actually, I guess that's not really light gaming, but here's one that's a light game for me anyway. Tony. Well, Tony, thanks for the live update. Appreciate it. Congratulations. Right. All right. That was great. Okay, here we go. So this monster here, Rogue Regiment, it is ridiculously big. Obviously one of these classic sort of Euro production scale games that super high end in quality. The box is super robust. This is not one of those GDW or GMT or Compass Games boxes that's going to, as you pick it up by the corner and the corner snaps, right? It's not one of those. This is probably every bit of £7 for a start, but it's also a very thick, robust box and beautiful artwork throughout. It's a very simple game. It's basically a man-on-man skirmish game where the objective of the game is not to run around and kill too many things. It's more to sneak around and then kill things, then execute your mission, and then out you go to the exfil and go from there. It's a fabulously fun game. I kept putting on my British accent with all the characters and their funny profiles and whatnot. They're very cute, and it was a lot of fun. I wrote 2 or 3 little stories about my gameplay. I didn't do any AARs on them per se because it's not really one of those AAR style games. I did a 14 or 15 minute long video on the gameplay. I encourage you to go have a look at it if you're interested. It is kind of an expensive investment. I believe Mo just picked up a copy. Mo's got a copy. I've got a copy now. And that was gift, by the way. So that was Nate from Gippy Gamer was very kind to ship that to me. I believe he got a spare copy or an extra copy from the publisher or whatever. And I'd seen the Kickstarter and was very curious about it. And looks like some other folks have picked it up as well. So there's a couple of expansions as well, which are decks of cards and some tokens and bits and pieces. It's very cool in that you have when you kill a guy, you flip over the counter and then you got the dead body with the blood, and so you got a little trail of bodies, and you can move the bodies and hide them. So it's super stealth oriented, and you're taking guys out with knives and stuff. It's hilarious. All right, so oh yes, I have seen many clips, and I would love to watch that movie, but I just have not got around to it. It's probably something I need to do. All right, let me see. Yeah, and guys, so I was going to bring up the lock and load shipping thing in a second, and so you know what? Let's get this. Let's get my biggest beat for the year out of the way before we delve into my actual game of the year, number one. What game of the year? Most enjoyable play of the year, number one, and then number two, a couple of honorable mentions that I'd like to make as well. And then we're going to go through. We'll do the dogs, the bad, and then we'll get a handful of giveaways done. And if giveaways don't work out tonight because of either A, lack of interest, or B, my inability to manage them, we'll work out some way to do it in the next couple of days or next week on Mo's final show for the year. Right. So the big issue for me this year has been that I noticed in the wargaming community in particular, and I've been, I guess, kind of like a thorn in people's side, kind of the Cassandra on this, about warning people about people trying to change the hobby too much, number one, and then trying to inject what is generically called the woke ethos, right? Fortunately, I think we're now heading into 2025 and beyond. I think we've seen a lot of pushback on that, and we're probably at I'll call it peak woke, right? Hopefully, we're entering the post woke phase, so maybe some of that will die down a little bit. But if you've seen the drama that's gone on in Dungeons and Dragons with the removal of half races and the homogenizing of the entire game, and the safety protocols for playing, raise your hands like this if you feel uncomfortable, all this, what I will call emotional bullshit, has for a long time, last 3 or 4 years, been slowly seeping into the hobby. And I think this year, a lot of people kind of got called out on it and told to piss off. We don't want any of your bullshit. and I'm thrilled about that. But there was also a lot of attacks on publishers, and I think Lock and Load is a great example where the wife, David Heath's wife, was doxxed. And if you don't know what doxing is, go look it up. I'm not going to get into a long diatribe about that, but it's not only a dangerous but highly unethical and illegal thing to do. And number one, and number two, you're just a dick if you do that. So there was that sort of angry, needy, I need it now, self-entitled bullshit that went on this year in and around Lock and Load, but with good reason for some other companies that had gone out of business. They were ripped off, but Lock and Load has always said they would deliver, and now it appears they are. Were they 25 months? Well, they weren't 25 months late. It was a 25-month long program. It wasn't supposed to be that long. They did a really shitty job of communicating. And I think we all got very frustrated and annoyed. And, even I got a little worried about it, right? It's like, what is really going on there? Now I know exactly what was going on there. And it's really none of anyone else's business what was going on. Comment was made that we'll get the games done and they will be delivered. And we want it done right. And that's all you need to know. And besides the fact that we've all paid our money. I paid mine for all. Well, I only bought 2 of the games, right? The Stuka game I didn't buy. We need to sort of just pause and calm down a little bit about your sense of entitlement, number one. And then number two, your desire to change the hobby to make it something where you can have your little tantrums and try and change the way war gamers in general, and this is not old war gamers, it's not, cranky old men, it's war gamers from 12 to 100, how we play and how we do things. There's a method and a means to what we do, and we all do it a little bit differently, but we're all enjoying this hobby so much, and it is a small community, and we all should be trying to get along. But I'm still, next year, I am not going to stand by and let people try and change that, change the hobby to be about conflicts, about women's suffrage, or about Eurocentric games, or non-kinetic warfare, or whatever, right? I'm not non-kinetic warfare, non-kinetic actions, right? It's going to be, our games, our hobby needs to be about wargaming and military history. And if you have an interest in that, you're welcome. And if you don't, that's fine. Go do needlepoint. Go do something else. Go play a Euro game. Go play a war-themed Euro. Have a great time. God bless you, right? The more games we have that open doors to allow more people to come into the hobby, like Undaunted, I could give 2 shits about that game, but I love the fact that it's a door opener and inviting people into the hobby. It's not really a war game to me. It's not particularly historically accurate either. I get all that. That's all fine. Same with that South China Sea thing that Harold Buchanan made. That's kind of a war-themed Euro to me, or a strategy game. It's not a war game. And I'm not going to get into definitional stuff. I think we all know what it is. If you ain't going pew pew, right, then it's probably not a war game. So anyway, and so I wanted to mention that because I think it's important that we be supportive of people who want to enter the hobby, but not tolerate any bullshit or baggage that comes with them. And I had a distinct experience last week, actually, where I went to meet one wargamer and he's a Eurogamer, and one Eurogamer. And we had exactly no common ground. And all of the people in the store were not people that I would be interested in playing with. Based on their behavior, based on their attitude, and based on the games they were playing, there was zero interest for me to play. And this one chap who's an ASL player said, "Oh, well, we should get together and play." And he started talking about all this stuff and things he liked to play. And I was like, dude, we don't have a vector. Like with it, there is no vector, no nexus where we connect. So I really appreciate it. I'm happy to play something with you, but it's not going to be ASL number one because I am not going to go down the rabbit hole. But I'm happy to play something else if you would like to play something else. And there's a for me at my age, I'm 61 now. I don't have the time to waste with all the games I have here to play, to waste on pissing about playing Euro trick games or card games, collecting tricks for pirates. I have zero interest in that. I'd rather go drink whiskey with my buddies, which is the night I skipped out on doing that and hearing war stories from actual veterans that were fascinating and interesting, to sit and listen to, two guys work out whether the black pirate trumped the mermaid. It's kind of a long ramble here, but I'm trying to put a box around this, and the box is I'm looking for people to play with. I want to be open to playing with people, but I'm not going to tolerate nonsense and stupidity and lack of chemistry. I don't need to do that. And no one else needs to do that either. And we don't need to put up with other people's bullshit when we find that. That's not being a gatekeeper. That's you managing your sanity and your enjoyment of the war game hobby or the hobby you happen to be in, whether it's needlepoint, trains, miniatures, or stamp collecting, or whatever the case may be, right? So don't try and change the hobby. It is what it is. It can evolve over time, but that doesn't mean that we need to have folks changing the definitions of the games. You want to have unique categories in the CSRs for Euro-based historical conflicts of a non-wargaming nature, whatever that may be, or games about the plight of prostitutes or transsexual prostitutes. That's awesome too. Go have all those things. They're not war games. They're different types of games, and we need to just recognize that they're separate and different, and that's okay. And we can play both, right? I've played lots of Euro games that are awesome. Anyway, that was my biggest beef for the year, and that probably didn't do a very good job of encapsulating it because I didn't write a speech. Spoke from the old chicken. So anyway, there's that. I'm going to quickly look at commentary. Yes, they do. They do. And I don't. And I'm not a real war gamer. I'm just me. Sorry. What else we got here? Yeah, it's military history stuff. Who's David and the gang? Am I missing things? I'm trying to oh, come on, guys. It's not that bad. Like, and here's the thing. I think a lot of people have shot their wad on this. They went all out, thinking that the whole world was embracing all of this emotional drama instead of facts, and I think they kind of have exposed themselves for being what they are, and we all kind of know now. And I think we're all kind of gone, yeah, well, I'm not really interested in that. That's great. Go do your thing. You go do you, and I'll do me. And we'll. I'm going to roll some dice. Going to go pew pew occasionally, and we're going to work it out. And you go, save a penguin. That's awesome. All right. Well, you guys are on a roll here. Kai, you are such a little smart ass sometimes. All right. Did I say separate for different? Well, maybe I meant separate but equal. Who knows? Yeah, you can. Please, by all means, cut that quote out in a video clip, and we can have that posted around, and I can be the poster child for gatekeeping. All right, well, 45 minutes in, it's my first sip of my cocktail. That's pretty sad. Diversity of games. All right, I'm just trying to see. All right, okay. Yeah, well, there is that. All right, okay. 42. That means a couple of people left. It means they miss out. I'm going to give another game away. So we did Total Recall. So who? First of all, I have. Here's what's cool about this. I have a Luzon OCS title. It's punched, it's played, it's loved. I mean, it's been videotaped. This is priceless. There's YouTube video of this game online. All right, I have that game. See if you can tell me what country Luzon is in. Lay it up there, baby. It's yours, and we'll do a random draw. But there's more. It comes with, and I laminated them all. Did I laminate them all? Did they come that way? I think I laminated them all of the little cheat sheets that the OCS people have put together. They're really awesome. Air mission reference card, two-sided because you need two sides, really. Supply concepts, how to do trace supply, supply network example, miscellany supply because it's OCS. That looks great game. No, you really should get it. OCS key definitions, Zoc bonds and bullshit like that, and then counters and crap and transport and fuel supply and other things. So that comes with. I don't need them anymore. Well, I don't need them anymore. I looked at them. I thought they were really cool and thought that I would need them. I don't need them. So they're now yours. Comes with this game. So and you don't have to spell it right. Oh, look at Funny Pants. The wardrobe is here. How are you doing, bud? I have not heard from you in a long time. All right. Whoa. So here it goes. We got a bunch of people. One. Kai, I'm gonna kick you off the this stream. Stop. You're cracking me up so much I can't even concentrate. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shoot, I think there was 5 there. 5, 6, 7, 7. God bless your dad. 7, 8. Now, damn, Tim, do you want this game or are you just being a smart ass? Because I'm up to 8. I got 8. Any more? Last call. And that doesn't include damn Tim. Damn Tim, if you want to be in. Well, Neil, I don't think Neil asked for it though. He didn't put his name in. Oh, yes, he did. Hexy, I'm not giving you the game. Even if your number comes up, you're not getting it. And you're number 9. All right. You know what? I tell you what. You know what? Screw it. It's my live stream. Neil, this is yours, baby. Big Board Gaming at Gmail. Send me an email with your address, and I'll mail it out to you. No charge. You're done. Next. All right. Awesome. Love that. Okay. I said I had another. I'm going to do another giveaway right now. Oh, should we? I think we should. Yeah, Hexy doesn't win. Love it. Raid. This is the boxed version, bros. Now it does have a little tear on the inside of the box, but that's neither here nor there. It comes with the strategy and tactics version of it as well. So there's 2 copies of the game in it. Both, yes, I believe both are punched. Yes, both are punched. 2 maps, obviously 2 sets of rules. You can have a lot of fun with this game. It used to be my go-to small unit action game until I moved to the United States a long time ago, and I've had this. I haven't had this particular copy, but the SPI one that's in there I've had for since it was released. So So if you can, let's see, name a commando. Ooh, that might be hard. Let's see. Okay. Who designed this freaking thing? Go do some Googling. Tell me what year Raid was published. How about that? Because I would need to look it up. I'll give you a hint. It's in the 70s. So, Raid, give me a year. There we go. Look at the boys are getting after it. This is in superb condition on the inside, by the way. The counters are all in excellent nick. I don't think I think one of the sets is not even clipped. You know, the map is in awesome shape. He said, tearing it as he opened it. I didn't do that, by the way. Yeah, these aren't clipped, so you can put them yourselves or not. There's a counter tray in here. It even has a little plastic die. It must have been before the oil crisis. So, all right. Okay. Well, you know, I'm not going to say what I like to do after I roll dice, but there you go. I'm going to call a stop to it right here. Okay, so Hexy's in. He's the last one. One going up from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 people. All right, here we go. 1 to 8. Yeah, you know Hexy's not going to win. 5. Dang it. Now I'm going to go up here. Stand by. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Flippy. DJ Flippy, you the man. So, bigboardgaming@gmail. Send me an email. That is your game. And this one, I think I can manage the shipping. So I'll take care of that for you. Merry Christmas. All right. So, and this is Christmas show, by the way. I guess I probably should put that somewhere, but whatever. Christmas show for me, at least. All right. So DJ Flippy is our winner of Raid. I'm just looking to see. Oh dear. See, you guys are so wrong. All right. Okay. Let's see. Let's do now. I need to. I'm actually getting kind of tired. I'm thinking that I'm going to run out of energy to do the big rant on the game. So maybe I should do them now. But let's do the last. Actually, I'm going to do the 2 honorable mentions, and then we'll do what I think is my game of the year. For me, my most favorite play. I do want to just reiterate now that we have a few more people here. Excuse me. Broccoli. That's broccoli. I want to mention we got a couple extra people here. I'm considering moving all my video and content onto a Substack. And I think I posted if you're on Facebook, I posted a link to that as an example. I'd like to get some feedback on that. So of the 44 other people that are here, if you didn't hear that when I first started the stream, I'm curious about that. And that while I have my drink is getting warm. Yeah. While I have everybody, I'm also curious about what you would like to see more of or less of in terms of content, either whether it be written in terms of narrative or AARs or video, and then the types of videos that you might like to see. If you can post those in the comments, that'd be super. And I will try and try and work out, you know, maybe see if I can fit in some of the stuff that you're interested in. All right, so so there's that. Now let's see. So what was I going to do now? Honorable mentions. So two games that struck me as really solid games. So the first is the Fate of All from Thin Red Line Games, and as a monumental task in terms of building some historical accuracy, I was super impressed with the idea around building this operational game for ancients, which is really tricky. You know, Imperium Romanum had tried to do it and failed. The Ancient World series did a great job of it. This would be complementary to that in terms of scale and complexity, basically. Actually, that's not true, because the Fate of All is monthly turns, and I believe, and Ancient World series is annual turns. But anyway, same concept, similar concept. So fantastic game, so much to it, and really took a lot of concepts from The Next War and some other games, borrowed some things at the tactical level from Great Battles of History. Gives you the chance to play operationally and then resolve those battles down at the tactical level on a battle map. Love that. So lots of cool stuff going on there with that. I really enjoyed that. My second honorable mention is Isla from the Sound of Drums games. Now, you may say honorable mention for a game like that. Yeah, it's honorable mention because it's not finished, right? But I think as one of the first games they've released, one of the first Real War games they've released, they did a fantastic job in terms of quality and componentry. Just got a little over enthusiastic with getting it out the door, I think, a little too soon. A little disconcerting the fact that we're about to be on Rules Rev 1.5. Lots of holes in the game that really could have been fixed with some more thorough playtesting and some better, whatever language it is that Eve speaks. Swiss, what is Swiss? Half German, half French, half Italian. That's three halves. So I think that was, for me, a disappointment. But I see the potential in the game system. I see what's there. I see all the rules and mechanics and what he's trying to do. And I think it's got lots of potential to be a highly accessible, probably end up being a little more than the 12 or 15-page rule of rules that currently exist. Probably needs to be a 24-page rule book thereabouts. And I think that that game has an amazing potential once the rules are polished, right? The 1.5 rules should solve some things. I sent in a metric shitload of content and commentary and questions and clarifications to sort of aid that process with the chap in England who's working on it. I forget his name, my apologies. But nevertheless, was super impressed with his diligence in trying to help Uwe square that away. DJ Flippy, yeah, I'm glad you got it, man. You won't regret it. Yeah, ILO 1807. Yeah, thanks, Bob. Okay, all right. So Matthew, welcome to the show, by the way. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, sorry. Hey, Justin, what's going on, man? How you doing? ILO 1807 is from Sound of Drums Games. You know, I probably should have grabbed it. It's in a big wooden box. It's heavy, and it's at the top of the book. It's that box, that wooden box up there. So, whoa, hey now, I'll get crazy. There we go. All right, I think that'll do, right? Let me just adjust my screen a little bit, move it down. Come on, just a little bit more. Nope. All right. Oh, There we go. Okay, that makes me feel better. All right, so 2 honorable mentions. Now, the final thing I wanted to do was talk about this game. I don't want to say game of the year. It's not game of the year. It's a game that surprised me, and I guess I had zero expectations, right? So there's that going for it. And I think you all probably guessed what this is because I posted a lot of video this year on it, at the tail end of the year. Although it was late summer that I had it. So okay, last game, right? Compass Games. This is got to be. This is feeling more like 8 pounds, not nearly 9 pounds of game. A lot of people have said, buy it for the historical booklet that's inside it. I think you could do that and be well satisfied, but you'd be missing out if you didn't play the game. Yeah, the thing that is striking to me about The Last Gamble, and I was expecting it to be something more like A Time for Trumpets, which I had a lot of issues with for a wide variety of reasons we don't need to go into. The thing that struck me, and having been going through for the last several months a gameplay of Ardennes 44, which I love. Simonich, met him several times, love him as a dude, like 90% of the games he's made. Don't mind Ardennes 44. This is my second or third play of it on Vassal with my buddy who it's his favorite Bulge game. And the thing that has become crystal clear to me, with this particular game, The Last Gamble, setting aside rules to drive some of the historical narrative and some of the historical actions that have to occur, really, right? So that sort of on rails stuff, setting all that to one side. What The Last Gamble does that's, to me, it's probably not unique, but as I compare it to Ardennes 44, everything about the game system is basically equal for both sides. You both have the ability to attack and defend in the same way. You both have the ability to defend and not defend. Take advantage of terrain in the same way. And I'm trying to do this without bagging on Ardennes 44 because Ardennes 44 is just structured so that it's defender centric in every single rule aspect, from traffic roadblocks to how artillery is handled to the actual combat factors on the counters. This game system felt very freeing to me, and it allowed me to make choices and decisions for both sides in terms of both offense and defense around choosing my terrain, the best terrain to attack into and from, and the best combination of unit types, combined arms, to maximize my impact on space and shape the battle space and stuff like that. And it's all done in a concise rule book that's well worded. It's clear. It makes sense. It's not overly verbose and all the rest of it. It really, really drove home to me both the history and the fact that both sides, it was a near run thing for both sides. Much more so than perhaps you would get from a lot of other games. I think I haven't played, every single Bulge game out there, but I've had quite a few of them. So pretty awesome experience. Just only 2 gameplays, and I can confess that I did not play to completion both times. The first time I did 3 out of 5 turns, and the second time we got about halfway through the scenario, and with just circumstances arose, I had to pack it up. But we had a lot of fun. So it was good stuff. I ended up understanding the system. Now, keep in mind also that he is coming out with additional detailed, more enhanced rules and options for both sides as well. There's a huge amount of optional rules in that game that you could probably play the game 100 times just with all the optional rules and never have the same experience twice. I've not seen that in a long time in a sophisticated, complex war game. Anyway, DJ Flippy says it's brilliant. So there, someone actually agreed with me. That's awesome. I played Danny Parker's original, yes, and that was a shit show. Let's see. Who's a funny guy? Okay, so that you know what, I'm gonna do this now. Then let's get one of my uglies out of the way, because that's all the good stuff out of the way. So yeah, Aaron Armour. It was a toss up between this game and my impressions about Red Strike, which I haven't played, but just the absolute beatdown I received from one of my buddies on all the shit that's wrong with Red Strike, and how he was incredulous that it could possibly have been called the best game of the year, Modern War Game of the Year, or what. I don't even know what the award is that one. What was that one? Whatever. Right? And he was just flabbergasted. And my buddy is like a serious war gamer, and he gets systems faster than 95% of the people I've ever played with. In fact, he's probably the fastest rule grokker that I know. I learned a lot about coming to terms with rule books. So there's that, right? I was going to choose that, but it would be unfair because I haven't actually played the game, and I haven't played this game either. But there's a reason, and I'm not going to labor the point because I went on about it in the video, and it got the most comments of any video I've released this year. 85% of them being fanboys, saying that I was being mean and never played the game. I did set it up and actually tried to play a couple of turns. It's a far cry from the original. I played the original several times, and suffice to say that the original managed to say in less than 40 pages, because inside the standard rules and advanced rules are all the charts. So it's way less than 40 pages, more like 24 or maybe even 18. I have it written down somewhere. With 18 pages of rules, they managed to convey a fantastic system. Same designer, right? But when I interviewed the designer, I was told that this is going to be a rewrite. It's going to be a lot of cool new stuff, and it's going to be great. They're going to fix the maps and the counters and the OB and all the rest of it. I was thinking, oh, it's going to be awesome then, right? Well, what came out of that, what was regurgitated out of that dude's mouth and pen to paper with him and his buddies making the game, is 100 and bazillion pages of rules. And I went through it. Be careful about how I say this. I went through it and took out all of the designer notes, just the designer notes and comments, and I slothed off 20,000 words. Now you may say, Kevin, the designer notes are great because it helps us understand the designer's intent. And well, yes, put in a separate document, please, so that we can appreciate your grandeur and your intelligence and your eloquence and your verbosity, right? Go put that all in a separate document. If I need to get through what's going to be a 60 or 70 page rule book that you've blown up 3x, you've spent 12, 5 pages, whatever it is, on orders of battle and what a division is, give me a fucking break, right? I mean, I want to read the rules and play the game. I don't want a lecture. And if I saw one more time as I was reading the rules, and this is what did it for me. This is what told me, after trying to work through the rules and go through a couple of sample combats, if I saw, just to be perfectly clear, one more time, I was going to shoot myself. That happens all the fucking time in that rule book, by degree and by variation. And that's what killed the game for me. Now, I'm going to go back to it at some point. I'm hoping that the next edition that comes out will have a new revised rule book, and maybe it'll be a little bit shorter, and maybe they'll put the designer notes in the back, and maybe it'll only be 80 pages of verbosity. I'm a fairly succinct, straightforward guy, and I like my rules to be succinct and straightforward. I don't like a lot of repetition. Repetition is okay if it's required. And if there is going to be repetition, it needs to be repeated with a rules reference. This rule book doesn't do that. The print goes down into the crack of the crease of the fucking glued rule book bullshit that's done in. And to be fair, The Last Gamble has that same problem, but its margins are much narrower, or wider, I should say, so it doesn't have that issue. Anyway, not fun. So that was my beef for the year, right? I mean, that game just, I had, my expectations were all the way up here because I played the game, I understood the game, I sat down, started reading the rules, I read all the introductory bullshit and all the rest of it, and I was like, what the fucking hell is going on here? This is insane. Where's the game? Oh, wait, I'm on page 54. I haven't got to the rules yet. That's a lie. It's not rule. It's not page 54. It's some other page number. I just exaggerated. Okay, so calm down. Kevin exaggerated. All right, let's do a giveaway. I have two classics here. Two classics to me. Something that I cut my teeth on, as I mentioned earlier on, the very beginning of the podcast. We are really at 11 minutes. I gotta have a drink. Black Manhattan. Nothing better. A little spicy. All right. When I started wargaming, Waterloo, Avalon Hill, total, played that game, grabbed my Look and Learn English magazine of what happened and said, this is bullshit, right? What is this? This is two huge stacks attacking each other. Not very impressed, but it was my only war game, so I played it a bunch, and I pretended that I knew what was going on, and actually tried to follow along with the Look and Learn magazine, little diagrams and what happened and all the rest of it. So I was 12 at the time, right? So I really wasn't a huge book reader back then. If I was reading anything, it was like Lord of the Rings or something like that. Anyway, so my next two games were these two games, Blitzkrieg and the Russian campaign. Now, these two games literally changed my mind about the hobby and about what wargaming could be. And this is all pre-internet and pre-fucking cell phones, right? So for you youngsters, I found a friend, actually a buddy of mine who I hung out with all the time. We would get together every Thursday, Friday night and play war games. And they were the two games that we played forever until SBI turned up in the game shop. And we're like, what is this stuff? This is awesome. Magazine games and big, huge box games and stuff. We played Wellington's Victory and all sorts of crazy stuff. Some guy bought a campaign for North Africa, and we had pieces of paper everywhere and tried to play it. It was hilarious. That was my wargaming story. So little wargaming snippet of my history there. So those two games. Now here's a simple question to get involved so that you can win these two games. If you can tell me the original, who was the original publisher of the Russian campaign, and name the company, and we'll put you in the run, and then you're off to the races. I'm going to stop my camera for a second and jump up and open the door here because it's got quite warm, and I'll be right back. While you guys try and work out what the name of the gaming company is. It's from Australia. There's a hint. Get in the running, and I will ship these to you. I might ask for $5 for shipping just to defray the shipping. by all means, if you saw, if you really, really want it, and you saw someone else's answer and you want to copy it and cheat, by all means, go ahead. And Kai X, yes, you're almost there, Kai. You nearly got it. Very close. So far, only 2 correct answers. You know, I need to check. I think the Blitzkrieg might actually, let's just before I say anything. Look at the insert. The realistic game of lightning warfare. How awesome is that? You know, I was just looking to see if there was an extra set of counters. I don't think there are. Unpunched. I think I gave the extra set to somebody who needed them. Okay. All right. Who we got? Who else is in? I got one. Dingo White by Panzer. Ken. Hilarious. I love it. Good job. If you're interested, yeah, I will consider that an answer. I've got 2, 3 answers. Matthew is in. More comments below. 4. Yeah, Hexy, these are far too simple for you, my friend. Now, I don't know who you are. Okay, 1, 2 number guy. I would be wary of allowing you to win because you don't have a real name, kind of, and it's a first comment here. So who, if you're a real person and we know you, it'd be great for you to let us know that. All right, asshole. All right, let's see. What do we got? I think I counted 4. Am I right? Besides a Dingo Ate My Panzer. Wardrobe, are you in? Todd, are you in? If you're seriously in, I'll include you in. Hey, Eric, okay, then we'll count you in, buddy. I'm sorry for being suspicious. You just look like a Japanese, Chinese spam or something. I'll end up having all the money drained into my bank account or something. I will give my entry to Matthew. What are you doing, Todd? Stop making my life difficult. I'm shipping them to you, buddy. All right. Now I've lost count. Can someone tell me how many entries we have? Come on, guys. I see 1. Two, 3. I saw a bunch of them up here. 3, 4, 5. Okay, I got 5. I'm seeing 5. Does that sound right? Okay. All right, I'm calling it 5. Where's the doohickey? Here we go. 4. Oh, shit. All right, let's see. We'll go backwards and we'll find who. Stand by, stand by, stand by, stand by. Okay, so unfortunately it's not going to be Eric because he is 5. And then going backwards here. Paul Sin, there we go. All right, Paul. Beatboardgaming@gmail.com. Send me an email. May hit you up for, I think I managed this. It'll be fine. Okay. All right. So I have one more game to give away. You should hang around. Let's do the last weekly. And it's, of course, this thing. I just played this last week. The Pratzen Austerlitz 1805. 2 huge maps, 90 turns. How many counters are there? Does it actually say? No, it doesn't. Maybe 100 counters. This game was in development for 30 years, and we can't speak ill of the dead. Peter Perler passed away, I don't know if this year or last year or whatever. Sad loss for the community. Great writer. Published a couple of games. I've had some friends tell me that I should stick with it, and I've had other people tell me, should tell me that they would take it off my hands because they could work with it, and it really just is so raw and unfinished and not well thought through. I don't know why there's 2 maps. I don't know why there's only, I want to call it 2 divisions. The battle for the Pratzen Heights was substantial. And you get really no feel for that at all with this game. Map art is mediocre at best. Counters are okay. CTP Publishing is fortunately going out of business or stopping publishing. They're selling off all their games at discount, so I bought that for cheap. But it is nothing more than a $25, $30 Ziploc bag game. It's really what it should be, and possibly should be sold as a kit, either a kit or kindling. I'm not sure which one it is. It is one of it's got some cool ideas in there that are just not done. They're just not finished. Like the victory conditions are wrong and stupid, and the workflow for everything is awkward, and it's just a really bad fucking game. And I'm really sorry it turned out that way, and I hate making impulse purchases. Purchases like that don't work out. It's really annoying. Beautiful artwork though. I mean, I love the box. I might keep the box and throw away the game. I don't know. I wouldn't sell that to anybody. It's really not that good. Okay, speaking of good, let's do the last giveaway and let's call this done, because I'm pretty sure that my wife will want to have me not monopolizing the quiet, because she's in the house trying to be quiet and not disrupt my live stream. So I'm going to give away a game that is one of a handful from a series, and it's Die Festung Hamburg and Dim Red Line Games, North German Plains. This is a Wargamers simulation. I don't recommend it to folks who are looking to play Jetco, the Russian campaign. But if you're interested in a serious study, I would call it, of maneuver warfare and command and control, it's a blend of the Central Front System and NATO Division Commander, more heavily aligned to NATO Division Commander than it is with its order management and ability to change orders and stuff like that. It is a meaty handful, and it's a little bit of a grind. I found it a grind. Now, I haven't played this one. I played the first one that came out 3 times, and we struggled with it. So I'm not down on the system. It's just not for me. I just did not resonate. So I struggled to grok the war game in it, the game part in it. It was more simulation stuff. So it's a little too grindy for me. So anyway, that said, if you can elucidate what TRL Games stands for, put it in the comments and you're in. And we'll do that Well, Kai, now that you mention it, the rule book is actually a fantastic exposition on case-based rule writing, where the rule means exactly what it says, and nothing more, nothing less, and it has no other color commentary to entertain you. All right, so are people popping up? Here we go. Hexy's in, Tim. So we got, where does this all start? Oh, look at you guys. You're after it, right? Games from the front. What's this bad boy? In red line. Tim Zales is in. Sorry, I said that. Jeff, Jeff, you're rich. Go buy your own damn games. Oh, that's right, you can't. It's out of print. Oh, yeah, by the way, it's out of print. Not sure when those guys are getting redone. Right? He's not super excited about redoing. Nordic, you're not in. That does not count. Justin, dude, how are you doing? All right, are we done? Oh, everyone's. Oh, now we're going to find how many we got. Sell it to Flippy and give the cash to Nordic to pay for Korean camping girls. Camping, yeah, but Korean camping girls have thick ankles, guys. Come on. All right, here we go. I'm going to call it here unless I see one more. No, that's it. All right, so I'm going to count. Here we go. Really should have picked a different way of doing this. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Todd, you smartass. 3. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I'm calling it 9. I'm going to call it 9. And we'll start from the bottom again like I did last time. Hello? Okay. Start from the bottom. All right. It's 3. Where are we? 9-sided dice. Yes, I did, Ken. Yeah, you just need to date a Korean girl. You'll understand. You will understand. All right. 1, 2. Oh, Neil, I had you in. 2. All right. Looks like it's a YouTuber, CRT Matt. All right. Awesome. Now, are you in the United States, buddy? By the way, everybody, if you have not gone to CRT Matt's channel, go check it out. Good stuff. Really enjoy it. And Charles, Charles, I don't know who you are, but thank you for joining. I didn't see you commenting earlier, but welcome, welcome. Let me just recount. You know what? I already announced it. All right. So CRT, it's you, Matt. It's you. Can you please send me an email, bigboardgaming at Gmail, whatever, and we'll go from there. Hey, so look, I haven't done one of these in a while, and it's been awesome. You're in the US. It's been a lot of fun, and I appreciate everybody. Hope everybody has a safe and Merry Christmas. I hope that you all have a prosperous new year. I'm going to be on Mo's Whiskey Charlie Tuesday next week. We'll be doing giveaways. I may have shot my wad. I may not have a whole lot to give away, unless it's kind of grungy stuff that I'm trying to sell, which is fine too. But I enjoyed everybody hanging out, and I love the commentary. You guys are hilarious, and I hope the show was bearable and all the rest of it. And I look forward to catching up with everybody in the new year. Ciao. It's not ending. There we go. Let's try again.